Hello student, now we study about character of Thallophyta. So the first character of Thallophyta, they are spore producing plant. They are mostly non-flowering plant and sex organs are hidden. They are lower plants. They are non-vascular plant, means xylem, that is water conductive tissue, phloem, food conductive tissue, both are absent. They are mostly aquatic. Few are epiphytic, which are growing on other plant, or some are epizoic, that is growing on other living organism. Plant body is thalloid, that is not differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Cell wall, it is made up of polysaccharide like cellulose and glucose. Reserve food material is in the form of starch, and reproduction takes place by vegetative or asexual sexual method. Example, algae. So according to their plant body structure, cell wall, algae classify into three types. So first one, chlorophysis, that is green algae. Second, phycophysis, that is brown algae. Third, rhodophysis, that is red algae. So occurrence means presence. Green algae, they are mostly freshwater. Brown algae, they are mostly marine water algae. And red algae, these are found in marine as well as freshwater. Plant body, green algae, they are mostly unicellular and filamentous. Brown algae, plant body is simple branch or filament. And red algae, these are thalloid. Cell wall, so cell wall in green algae, they contain cellulose. Brown algae, they contain mostly cellulose and algae. Red algae, the cell wall is made up of cellulose and pectin. According to major pigments, so red algae, green algae and brown algae. So in green algae, the photosynthetic pigment is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. In brown algae, photosynthetic pigment is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll C as well as phycoxanthin, while in red algae, photosynthetic pigment is chlorophyll A, chlorophyll D and phycoerythrin. Reserve food material, so in green algae, reserve food is in the form of starch. In brown algae, reserve food is laminarin starch. And in red algae, reserve food is Floridian starch. So importance of these different algae. Green algae, they are mostly rich in protein and used by space traveler as food material. Brown algae, they are used as food and for production of different food particles. Red algae, they are useful for production of agar, which is mostly important material for tissue culture technique. Example of different algae. So green algae, example Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra. So this is example of green algae, Spirogyra and Chlamydomonas. Locomotion takes place by flagella, while in Spirogyra, distinct chloroplasts are present. Brown algae, example Laminaria and Sargassum. So this is example of brown algae, Laminaria and Sargassum, present in marine water. Third example, that is red algae. Example of red algae is Batrachospermum as well as the Gelidium. So green algae, example Spirogyra. Brown algae, example Sargassum. red algae, example Batrachospermum. So these are different types of algae.